What's up, everybody? This is Steven Dutzman. I am the founder of EngageFamilyGaming.com, and I am here with
Evan. Hi.
and we're here for a Sunday night unboxing. If you hear random noises in the background, we have our two youngest who are playing Animal Crossing, and so they're trying to trade bananas or something. So just, don't worry about it. Today, it's just me and Evan. Oh, we have a crier. Is everything okay over there?
Jacob's still working.
Quiet and accidentally smacked her in the face.
Oh, okay. Well, don't do that. So today, we're going to do an unboxing. Specifically, we're going to unbox Hero Realms from White Wizard Games, but not just Hero Realms. We're going to unbox Hero Realms, but also we're going to unbox the different character packs. There are 5 of them. One of them they actually opened before they gave it to me at PAX East, so not so much of an unboxing on that one, but we'll talk about what the cards are. And also the Ruin of Thandar campaign deck. And we're going to talk about what all those are. Sound good?
I guess.
You guess?
Yeah.
That's super enthusiastic.
Yes, I understand. I wasn't at PAX with you. You
weren't at PAX. So you don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
All right, well, we're going to talk about it. So here we are. Hero Realms is Star Realms, only it's with a fantasy setting. If you don't know what Star Realms is, it's a 1v1, really a heads-up deck builder where you are building starships and building like an armada and etc. and trying to defeat your opponent. But at the end of the day, it is a deck builder. You have a base deck, and you are using the resources in that base deck to buy additional cards from like a collective pool. Since it's a heads-up game, buying cards is directly taking them away from your opponent. So there's like that interplay of, am I getting this for me? Am I getting this for everybody? Or am I getting this for me? Am I getting this to prevent him from getting it, etc.? So Hero Realms is that, only it's in a fantasy setting.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it. So I've already taken off the plastic, because as longtime viewers know, I'm terrible at taking the plastic off. This game is for 2 to 4 players. It takes 20 minutes, and it's for ages 12 plus. I actually strongly believe that this game can be played by younger players if they're savvy. Because this is pretty straightforward. And, if they really dig the fantasy theme, then they're obviously going to be more interested in figuring it out. Don't open that box yet. Don't open. We got other stuff to do first. So, Hero Realms. Let's take a look and see what we got. So we open the box. One thing that you got to notice, and this is important with White Wizards, is, they have their boxes are really nice. It's a simple thing, but they do have really nice boxes. There's not a lot of wasted space. You can see here on the inside we got the rules book, but really it's just, boom, decks of cards, and not wasting a lot of space on your shelf, which I like.
You're holding them upside down.
Huh?
You're holding them upside down.
I'm holding what upside down? So, there we go. It's the box. So, here we go. The rule book. Here's the thing. This looks intense. I promise you that it is really not. This is a pretty straightforward game. Because most of this is explaining how to play a deck building game. And if you know how to play a deck building game, which is essentially you have the lineup. Oh, here it is. You have the lineup, and you have your own cards. Wow, why can't I do that? If you know how to play a deck builder, then you are 90% of the way to knowing how to play this game, which I particularly really like. So you're going to open one pack.
Yeah.
Evan, stop fidgeting with plastic.
So, what?
He's fidgeting with plastic.
He's fidgeting
I
with...
mean, lots of plastic in the back.
He's opening the... he's trying to open the pack of cards. They have a little thing.
I know they have a thing. I'm trying to open the thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. I found the thing. Okay, I got the thing.
So, let's take a look. Whoa. Oh boy, you almost paid for that one. So, this is the back of the card. Pretty straightforward. I actually really think it's kind of sharp. It's using some of the similar, design and and some of the similar fonts and stuff to Star Realms, I think. But I dig it. So that is the back of the card. This is the front of a card, just to give you an idea what the game looks like. And so this is a dagger that does 1 damage. It's pretty straightforward. And everyone, like I said, everyone starts with the same deck. So that was a dagger that I showed. This is a ruby, which is what you use to earn resources. So, right, that's attack power. This is money. The coins you use to buy cards from the center of the game. And then, let's see here. Let's find something that is not a dagger or a coin. So, that's a ruby. This is just a gold.
Well,
so, your opening hand starts with these things. And Jenna is right. Not a lot of mess on the cards. Jeremy made a pretty good comment here saying that shelf space is prime real estate. And I agree with him. Shelf space is absolutely prime real estate. You don't want to waste it on a giant box for not much benefit. So, let's see here. What else we got?
A dragon.
Oh, wow. All right, hold on. Put that down. Put that down for a minute. You're looking at the advanced stuff. So, here we go.
Yeah.
We got another kind of a card that is worth 2, but if you put it in the bin... Oh, wrong side. If you put it in the bin, meaning if you discard it, it is worth 3 attack. So, just again, we're looking at a bunch of cards that have, different effects. But the idea is they do have some flexibility, and eventually you get out of the starting hands and some of the simple stuff, and you start getting into heroes. Open hand puns. Jeremy's making a comment about puns. I'm in favor of the dad jokes. So these are, much like in Star Realms where there are ships that were, may I help you?
Getting the Switch charger.
Oh, he's getting a Switch charger.
So we can play Fortnite.
So, bear with me a moment. Okay, have fun. So, just like in Star Realms, there were ships that were of different, species. Here we have, every time you do that, it comes up on the thing, because the microphone's right there. So, don't fidget in ways that make loud noise. So, there's kind of like a nature tribe. Give me these cards. Give me these cards. You do not get to fidget because it makes noise. So, here we have, Kron the Crusher. So, you put him in front of you, and you can actually tap him and get 5 attack. So, these guys end up kind of like either ships or some of them, like the heroes, actually end up being like kind of the bases in Star Realms. Star Realms, you have ships that you can only use on 1 turn, or you have bases that you play in front of you, and they do stuff every turn. So these are, just an example of some of them. Like the Direwolf, for example. Now he has a shield here. That means that if he is in play, your opponents need to attack and kill the Direwolf before they can attack you. Right? So just to go over some of it. This is 2 to 4 players, 20 minutes, ages 12 and up. So there is this Green Nature Clan, and a whole bunch of cards to go along with it. Let's put that down. We have this Yellow Clan, which, as Evan showed earlier, has this pretty super sweet dragon who you can tap when he's in play. He has guard 6, so you got to do 6 damage to him before he can attack anybody else. But you can also tap him to deal 5 damage and draw a card, which is very impressive and powerful in a deck building scenario. And there are also action cards. Finally, we found one. The action cards are cards that you play on your turn, and they are very similar to ships. So, it's a little blurry. I get it. So this is... So what do you want to say?
There's not much reading that needs to be done.
Yeah, there really isn't a lot. So, yeah, we got another question from Jenna, who is sitting over on the couch over there. She wants to know how much reading. Not a lot. These cards are primarily icons. So
Numbers.
You got to know your numbers, but they're primarily icons. So there are action cards that you can play that when they are put into play, a certain effect happens. Like, for example, Domination, which is this card. You play it, and you deal 6 damage, you heal 6 damage, and you draw. That's pretty impressive. So that is the... So this is the... I don't know what the name of it is, but this is the Yellow Tribe. There is a... Let's see here. The next one is Blue. I doubt that it is blue like in Magic. I wish that would make things easier. But let's see here. So these guys have Borg, the Ogre Mercenary. He's just a dude. But a lot of these cards will have... Kate with a comment here. She's a fan of minimal reading deck builders. They're faster. I agree. This game, I have played it. It's quick. And it's just like Star Realms. I mean, ultimately. Put that down. You're making noise. So, one of the keys with these cards is, and the same thing with Star Realms, is if you have other cards in play, or play other cards that are of the same clan, a lot of them will have additional... So you don't want to just take whatever you can. You want to build within a certain species or clan or tribe. Make sense?
Yeah.
So so there's a blue one, and then we have a red, which seems to be a lot about sacrificing cards in your hand and losing them. But you get bigger, flashier effects. Also, they have like crazy things like this Warlock draining life and stuff like that. They got a weird vampire thing. So this is the Red Clan. We're actually going to do another video with some of these where we can kind of deep dive into some of the cards later on. But then the tail end of this is all just player aids and starting decks. But this is what I actually kind of like about the player aids. So you start at 30 health. So what you do is, well, actually you can start at a lot, but what you're doing here is you take the cards and you kind of move it down, and these cards kind of balanced on top of each other. Let's see, it gives us instructions. I want to show you exactly how it works, because it's actually kind of neat how they showed us. Okay, here we go. I was doing it upside down. So here, that means you started with 20. And here is 29, 28, 27, 6, 5, etc. Right? So you're kind of keeping track of your life total with these, so you don't need to use tokens or dice. Just use these 2 cards. I kind of dig that. What do you think?
I like that.
All right, so let's put some of these away. Now, the next thing, so this is the base game. This game runs about $20. It's very inexpensive, but some people might want to add a little flavor to it, right? There's not a lot of personality to this game as far as you, the player. So, they added a way to do that. So, this is the base game. The next thing they added are... Wait, hold on. They added these character packs. So, the character packs, essentially, they replace the starting deck with these heroes. So, for example, we'll look at the first one, and then you can open a few others. Why don't you not do that, because it's coming up on the microphone. But you're going to open all of them, don't worry. So this is the Ranger. First off, for the Ranger, it gives you a nice cool character card to like represent yourself on the battlefield. And the first really cool thing that they do, and I think our audience will really like this, is it shows you you're not defaulted to a dude. It actually gives you the option to choose. Now, this has no impact on gameplay. These are the same character. But they are, you could be a male or a female, depending on which art you wanted to use. Personally, I think the female art is way cooler. It also tells you what your starting life total is. I don't know why we're having trouble focusing today, but this character starts with 58 health. And again, you have specialized just for these characters, the life counters. And also, just to make things interesting, you have it with the lady on it. So, I think that's pretty rad. The fact that you can just choose whatever you want. And, yeah. So, here we go. Next, you actually end up with a deck of cards that replaces your starting deck. Okay. Really worried about that notification about Fortnite?
Yeah.
So, basically, you take the starting deck that you would normally start with and replace it with this starting deck. So, and they're all different. Flavor-wise, they represent what the Ranger, in this case, what the Ranger does, and we'll go over what the other classes are. But, for example, the Ranger has an ability called Track, which is, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, you can put up to 2 of them into your discard pile, then put the rest of the back on the top of your deck in any order. That's, it helps you filter your deck, make sure that you're kind of stacking the top so that you have ideal draws. Headshot, which is an ability like once per turn. This is once per game, actually, because in order to activate it, you have to kind of exile the card where you can stun an opponent champion. Again, these are abilities that nobody else has. And again, here we go. These are abilities that only the Ranger has. So, for example, these black arrows, they deal 1 damage, and if you have a bow in play, which there are, you have a bow, which means, like, if you play this card, and then you play this card, you draw another card. So it kind of turns into a combo thing, and maybe you play this one. So you go, bow, black arrow, here you go, you're just drawing a bunch of cards, dealing a bunch of damage. You're really excited about opening those, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, that's the Ranger. Really, a whole bunch of drawing cards, filtering their cards. Big fan of that. So, let me wow, you destroyed that thing before we could even show people what the pack looked like.
I mean...
Nope, we're good. Next is the Wizard. Evan just devastated the pack. What's cool is they come in these packs. They look like Magic the Gathering packs. It is worth mentioning, they're not. These are complete mini expansions. All the cards that are in it are set. So obviously this is the Wizard. Evan just trashed the Wizard's soul. I'd rather you not open those in a violent way while I'm going through this. So here we go. Again, we have the Wizard. And we have a female Wizard. So we got the male Wizard version and the female Wizard. That is really my favorite part of the whole thing. So we flip to the back. Oh, where's the...
But wouldn't it be a witch?
No, they are different. That's it. There's nothing else to really say. They are different.
But Hogwarts...
That's one fiction. There are plenty of others. So again, we got the life counters. And you may notice by looking at this that the female Wizard is a person of color. Big fan of representation mattering, because it does. And here we go. So the Wizard has a fireball that deals that you can bin it to deal 4 damage to a player and to each of their champions. Yikes. That's intense. I would not want to see that running down a hallway at me. They have a Wizard ability that is Channel. You basically use it and you gain 1 health and draw a card. They actually have pretty standard money. So these are just the regular money cards, like from other starter decks, which is really interesting choice. And then we have spell components, which are, they give you one, and the next action that you use actually costs you one less to use. And then they got some spells. Oh, and a cat. We gotta look at the cat. So the cat comes into play, and you can tap it for either one attack, one money, or one healing. This is a kind of hero that you can put in play, and it kind of defend you. That's pretty rad. That's a pretty powerful ability. What do you think?
That's powerful, but I just want to say, to correct you, the Ranger also has standard money. I think everyone has standard money.
Okay, all right, my bad. Fair enough. I didn't flip through that, so fair enough. So now we don't have a place to put the wizard cards back because you destroyed their house.
I mean, we can use it as a divider in the main box.
Sure, we can do that, I guess. All right, so next, the fighter. Rawr. My guess is he's going to do fighty stuff.
I think he's going to stand back and you can have all the money gaining, but no attack.
He's just going to hang out in the back?
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, so we have the fighter. Again, we have the two... Oh, wow, this is a cool art. It kind of looks like Yoan, right? From Lord of the Rings? Kind of. I am no man. Maybe a little bit. Probably not. So that is her. Again, we have the two cards for the life counter. I would 100% always play as her, as opposed to him. And let's see here. Whoa. So he has his ability, Crushing Blow, or, is if you bend this, you get to do 8 damage. And so, again, you're right. More money. And more abilities. So, this guy has a Squire. You got a little shield guy. So, that is the fighter. It's clearly a lot of big damage.
May I just say, the next 2 packs, the first 3, they had the male version on the cover of them. These 2 have
the female version is the kind of the default. So we'll look at the cleric next. People who know me well know that this is the one that I've been excited to open. I wanted to wait until we were on stream to do it, though. So here we go. Oh man, they have like this nice pull tab, but if you pull it wrong, it becomes a little bit difficult.
That's how I murdered the wizard pack.
So here we go. We have the cleric, male and female. The cleric actually has also 2 different abilities: resurrect and bless. And actually, and I'm sure that all of these have these, but they have rules reminders for how to play the cleric on the back of them. Didn't even think to look at that. Oh, and this is their hero card. She's awesome looking. So, and here we go. So these are... So the cleric again with the standard money, but the cleric actually has followers as opposed to actions that they do themselves. So they actually have, instead of attack, they summon dudes who defend and attack them, which I think is kind of neat. So that's the cleric, and last we have the thief. Is it a thief?
Yeah,
it's a thief. And again, after we get a bunch of games on this, we're actually going to do a video where we kind of put the cards out and talk about how they all work together. So this is the thief, and this is the other thief. So again, thief reminder text, and the abilities heist and pickpocket. This one, you can play it and you get 3 life and make your opponents discard a card. I suspect that is going to be the Thief's sub-theme, is making your opponents discard cards. Again, we got the life counters. And the Thief has a lot of money. Good gracious. starting with 2 rubies in the deck and 5 gold. So when you're drawing, what you do is you draw 5 cards in your opening hand. Clearly, the thief is all about starting with a lot of cash to buy cards from the shared stock.
Yes.
And has 3 throwing knives. And here's what's cool. The throwing knives combo off of each other. So they are +1 attack, but they're also +2 attack for every knife you've already thrown. So if you throw all 3 of them in one turn, you are 1, and then 3, and then 5. So if you throw all 3 of them, that's 8. That's really impressive.
No. Oh wait, it's 9. 1, and then +3.
Yeah, you're
4.
right. You're right. It's 9. I can't math. Okay. That's why you're here. That's why we have you kids helping me. So that is the next expansion. This is what's interesting about this game is it kind of keeps building. So you have the 5 heroes. I'm showing you their backs. And so that adds another element. Basically, you can each play these characters and fight each other. It also, it also makes it a 5-player game by using these heroes. It balances out appropriately. Next is, here we go. Thanks for the box. The Ruins of Thandar, the campaign deck. Now, everything that I've said before, Kate says that you beat me to it. Or that you beat her to it. She was going to correct me. It's Sunday. Give me a break. But bonus points to the people that are better at math than me. So, this game so far has been competitive. Everybody against each other. But a lot of times when we think of sitting around a table playing as heroes, a lot of folks kind of prefer a community cooperative challenge, and that's what this is. In fact, the Ruin of Thandar is it's a cooperative adventure that is designed to play excuse me, like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So this is the rule book. It is a little bit bigger. It does play still like a deck builder, but the idea is over the course of the game you're increasing in power. This is the adventure book. Now I'm not going to go into it too far, but the idea is you start with chapter 1, a bar fight, and then so you set it up. And what you will do is you will go into this game. Again, it actually has the enemies for the various encounters in this awesome bag right here, and they are bigger. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them because there's some spoilers, but the beginning is enthralled regulars. And so you can actually fight them on different difficulty levels because that's one of the ways that they make the game a little bit more interesting. And the idea is, so you're playing the Ruins of Thandar, you fight the irregulars, and you read a story text. And when it is done, there's a conclusion. So if you've defeated, you lose the encounter. You can try again. If you reduce the master's health to 0, you win the encounter. And then you read the text below, you collect rewards, and then you go to the next encounter. And then you just keep going. So the chase. So you are given a choice. You can choose a human group or an imp group. And depending on what you choose, you actually move to and fight different monsters. So you actually have like this choose your own adventure element. In the meantime, you are playing as these heroes. So what happens is you start with the base game. You can upgrade to these heroes. Once you have both of these things, which these heroes, by the way, end up being like $5 a piece-ish. Then you get the Ruins of Thandar. You can play with those characters. You have some of these cards. And you use it to fight these bosses.
I think that it has its own
and it just
heroes.
Continually grows. It does not. You use those heroes. At least that's what they explained to me.
I don't think that's a great sales design, like making it so that they have to buy. So, I mean, it makes money, but like, it's not easy for the normal consumer to understand.
I can kind of understand what you're saying, but they explain it pretty well.
Because the box are Where?
So these are. I understand what you're saying, but I believe it says it somewhere. So, let's see here. This expansion requires the Hero Realms deck building game and character packs. It says it on the back of the box. So, these are cards that you use for this adventure. They kind of get shuffled in, and they are new powers, new abilities, many of which are upgrades to stuff in the base Hero Realms game. The idea is that as you continue to play, you get new stuff and become more powerful. So yeah, that is Hero Realms. What do you think, Ev?
It's cool.
We'd love to hear what you guys have to think. You know, does it sound like something you guys are into? More or less, even without playing the game, I can say comfortably that if you are a fan of Star Realms, then this is a game that you are, at the very least, going to be interested in. There should be no surprises, at the very least. So, yeah, Hero Realms. You got this big old stack. A review is incoming, as well as some additional video content. We're actually setting up a setup so that we can do more discussion about cards. And specifically because we got to talk about those challenger decks that are coming in at the end of the week.
Yep.
And you know, also some Pokemon stuff. So and Transformers. We talk about a lot of card games now, bro. So here we go. This is Hero Realms. My name is Steven.
My name's Evan.
And we hope you have a wonderful night. Until next time, don't forget
to get your family game on.
See you guys soon. Bye.